The NFL continues to see player injuries. We're going to discuss the latest one right here on DDS Sports Talk.
What's going on, guys? We're back for another episode of DDS Sports Talk. Before we get going here, hit that like and subscribe button, share it with all your friends. Check us out on all our social media. Brad,
man.
This is kind of one of those underlying things that's been always kind of there in the NFL, but these injuries on these artificial surfaces seem to just keep popping up. And no one really wants to talk about it, apparently, other than the players.
It's the great debate, turf or grass or turf. I mean, we're starting to see, well, not starting, but we have seen too many examples of these injuries. And it's unfortunate. I mean, it's taken out some great players, great production, and it's going to make for some weird games. I mean, the standings are going to be impacted.
Yep.
It's impacting other people around them. I mean, this is going to potentially impact the quarterback. It's going to impact the coach. It's going to impact the entire team whenever someone that we're about to mention goes down like this. And a wide receiver, huge part of the organization, and Mike Williams.
Huge part of my freaking fantasy team.
Well,
I mean, I had to drop him today, and that hurt. That hurt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it just never, like, it's not even really close. I don't know the exact statistics, and you might. It's not even particularly close about how many injuries happen on artificial surfaces versus natural grass, but the complaint on the natural turf is the upkeep, and some people do a better job of keeping it up than others, so they think that affects the game. Well, I mean, it may affect the game, but if people aren't getting hurt and entire seasons and organizations aren't having a hell of a time trying to get over this kind of stuff, it may be worth it.
It's a beautiful stadium. We're here.
Yeah,
right here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're at the scene of the crime.
It's a little smoky. Don't worry.
I mean, the horns have been blaring with the Vikings. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But what you see down below is this turf.
Yeah. Have you ever been on this kind of field? Have you ever?
I've never stepped on it.
It's an interesting feeling surface.
Does it grab, or what is it? I've never.
So it depends. I think there's several different types. There's some that
you've
have
been at the Superdome.
I've been I've been
Mercedes.
I've been to the Mercedes, and I've been to Lucas Oil, whatever it is now.
Indianapolis.
Okay. They, some of them have the little rubber pellets, right? It's interesting because it grabs, but it doesn't. Sometimes, if that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense, right? Even though you're dug in, it's still like carpet. It's like you're running on carpet. Like it's still gonna slide. You can feel the turf under you in places move.
And a lot of these injuries are non-contact.
Right.
I mean, they're literally running, and then they try to cut.
Yeah, they plant the foot stop. and their momentum keeps going, and their body gives. It's the question is, does it grab like too much, right? Because these are very large, a lot of times grown men, very powerful, very explosive. Because people say, well, if it's about it being too tacky of a surface, then why doesn't it happen on the NBA surfaces? Well, it does sometimes, but the NBA guys they're a different build, right? We're not talking about guys that are wearing 50 pounds of gear and running at the speeds that they're running and having people chase them and run into each other intentionally. It's interesting, man. I don't know what the real answer is, other than I know that they really like having these artificial surfaces because they can put it inside and they can hold more people. It's more of an enjoyable fan experience.
This is going to be interesting debate right here in Middle Tennessee.
It is.
I mean, the Titans are approved to build this huge state-of-the-art stadium. What are they going to choose?
I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to go
hybrid, or they have one of both.
Well, you know, the surface that they have right now is actually one of the newer or alternate type of.
Nobody likes it.
It's like, what is it, bamboo or something? It's some kind of like.
We got koala bears roaming.
I don't know. It's got like bird shit or something ground up in it. I don't know what it is. It's something stupid. I mean, for me, I think there's a real problem here. And I think the NFL does not want to address it. And, you know, NFL happens to be a league that was afraid for a very long time to address problems that cause their players, their employees harm. You know, think back to the CTE stuff, the concussion stuff. Now that's like all the rage right now. Well, I mean, whenever Aaron Rodgers went down with his Achilles rupture, who was it that put that tweet out that, you know, Aaron Rodgers injures himself on another player goes down on an artificial surface? When is the NFL going to, you know, start paying attention to this? The thing is, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to uproot all these stadiums?
It can't be a quick answer.
No.
I don't know. There's probably some agreement between NFL and the owners that given the power to the owners to make the choice. But I don't think that there's necessarily ever going to be a dictatorship that says all surfaces must be grass. That seems a little far-fetched. But
well, you think about some of these places don't have the ability to really grow or care for grass year round.
No, you know, and the Chicago Bears and team, they can tell you that they can't grow grass. I mean, I'm sure Justin Fields is blaming everyone else.
Yes, I mean, that is going to be an interesting pod whenever we have that one about
the grass sucks, the coaching sucks. I'm good though. You know,
I'm just going to go do me. I'm just going to go play ball.
Well, you still haven't, sir. But this ain't about the Bears. This is about poor Mike Williams after having 120 something yards and a touchdown, and then poof, season's over.
What was the score of the game when it happened?
Oh, I don't know. No.
Was it a close game?
I'm watching. It was a pretty close game throughout, man. That ended up being 28-24. The Los Angeles Chargers. It's still hard for me to say that. The San Angeles Chargers win on the road right here in Minnesota.
I don't really. What's the answer? I don't know. You know, is it turf? Is it grass? Which one is?
I mean, it's probably the answer is, you know, it's football. People get hurt. But it takes time, effort, and a lot of money to fix it. This is going to probably be something that needs to be negotiated in between the players, owners, the league. I mean, player safety.
Yeah.
It goes beyond, like you said, but goes beyond concussions. Surely they've had talks about these surfaces, man.
So my thing is, you know, whether or not they're not going to look, they're not going to be able to swap out all the surfaces for real grass. That's just, that is not an option. It's just not ever going to happen.
Probably not.
But I think that they need to probably acknowledge that there is a higher incidence of injury on these surfaces. And in doing so, you know, being their employer, being responsible for their health while they're under their employment, I think that there probably should be some sort of ability for the injured player to be able to get compensation for that injury. You know, if they get injured during this and it ends their career, I mean, good Lord, heaven forbid it ends Mike Williams' career. Now, I mean, obviously there's been leaps and bounds in medicine and people are bouncing back from ACLs a lot quicker than they used to. I get all that. These guys take care of themselves really well, and they got a lot of therapeutic modalities that they can use to be able to get themselves back quicker. I get that, but heaven forbid that this ends somebody's career and they can't make a living anymore. What are they going to do about that? That needs to be the question that they need to be able to answer. Because I think that there's something to your statement that it's football, people get hurt. I get that. I think there's something to that, but I do think that they have to acknowledge that they're making them play on a surface that they know has a higher incidence of injury.
So here's a quote and says players have a 28% higher rate of non-contact lower extremity injuries when playing on turf.
There you go.
And we talked about the non-contact. It's something to do with how the foot, the cleat interacts with whatever this rubber substance is.
It's the traction. It's how much traction they can get.
And
it's
no one
too much or not
typically
enough.
touches them.
Right.
Twist, turn, boom, there goes an Achilles, or twist, turn, there's a knee.
Yeah. My thing is there just needs to be a way for them to get some sort of relief if by chance, I mean, because you look at, now this is not an example because I don't think Alex Smith hurt his leg on an artificial surface. I can't remember though, but a lot of stuff happened after that injury that caused him to, ultimately just, it was a miracle that he was able to come back, but not everybody's going to be able to come back from an injury like that. Aaron Rodgers, dude, he ain't. It's also hard for people to really wrap their head around it and feel sorry for people who have $25 million coming in every year, right? It's hard for the normal folks like us, like the dudes, to feel sorry for guys that are bringing in that kind of money and they get hurt. Well, who cares? They can afford it. Dude, that's not what it's about.
Not about that.
It's not what it's about. You got to remember that these guys have a window in their life that they can make this money. Mm-hmm. And it's, for most of them, it's 3 or 4 years.
It's the not for long league.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And if they can't make as much money as they can possibly make in that window, for most of them anyway, then you're significantly limiting what they're going to be able to bring home to their family, because like Bradley mentioned, it's the not for long league, and it's unforgiving for sure. It just seems to me that maybe there should be some sort of relief that they could get if they are truly injured on the job and they're not able to continue working.
I found a quick paragraph about the hometown Titans. If you want to try to decipher what they're trying to say there about natural grass, I think it might be more along maintenance and trying to keep it up during off seasons, right?
Let me make sure I'm giving this guy credit. Who is this? This is from CBS Sports, Jonathan Jones. I'm going to read a little excerpt here that Brad gave me here. According to the Titans, Tennessee's natural grass was so inconsistent and poor in a transition climate zone that the team had to switch to a synthetic surface in the offseason for the safety of their players. So they're arguing that the natural surface was not safe. Yeah. The NFL itself spent more than a year overseeing and growing a specially made natural grass surface for last season's Super Bowl, only to see the league's best pass rush unit be unable to find its footing in the game.
Well, we saw a lot of that.
Yeah, if you go back and watch our Super Bowl special, I'll tag it up here. We actually mentioned that. I did a short on it too.
Probably one of our 3 lemons.
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually because if you remember, the kicker on the kickoff slipped and almost broke his ankle. They go on to say the overall injury data is impossible to ignore. The NFL and the NFLPA are in agreement that non-direct contact injury rate is higher on synthetic surfaces than grass. And the 2022 season saw the biggest gap in injury rates between surfaces since 2016. So they know it's there. The problem is they're cherry picking one instance where they spent a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time to grow the grass, was in Arizona, right?
Oh yeah,
it was
That's
in
where the Super
Arizona.
Bowl was.
You're in the middle of the freaking desert and you're trying to grow sod on top of freaking sand. Guys, come on.
There was a special plate of grass that
Yeah.
they could take in and out, get some natural sun, bring back in, get some sun, bring back in.
To say that that is equivalent to the fiasco that you, I mean, I'm a Titans fan. The surface was bad, but I don't know that you can really say that it was the cause of injuries. I have no idea. I don't have the data, but that was a whole different reason than the fiasco that was the Super Bowl in Arizona, where they were just having chunks of turf come up, where they were having the kickoff or the kicker kicking the kickoff, and he literally slid on the side of his ankle as he was kicking. So, I mean, it seems to me that it's not the same. I don't really think that the Titans ever really put that much effort and money and all that into their surface. I could be wrong. You know, they mentioned that we're a climate transition zone or whatever. Yeah. I mean, Tennessee kind of is. We kind of get all the extremes.
Yeah. We can have fall in a couple hours of the day, and then it turns into summer.
Yeah, well,
all
I mean,
of a sudden
we
it feels
get,
like it's 100.
Yeah, we get 100-degree temperatures and we get 0-degree temperatures some years. So I don't know. It just seems to me that they're cherry picking data. I think everybody needs to take a look at that data and come up with their own conclusion. But for me, I think that it's probably fine to do either one, but I think everybody needs to come to an agreement that we're going to provide relief to those who get injured in the line of work here that the NFL players are. Because I think that's kind of what it all comes back to, is how the NFL players are cared for once they're, you know, cast out of the not for long league, as Brad called them. Because I don't know do you happen to know there's a kind of almost like a vesting period in the NFL where you have to play for a certain number of, I don't know if it's games or years, and then you have your healthcare paid for by the league. But anyways, I think that's ultimately what this is all going to come down to with the NFLPA and, you know, the NFL itself, is having to, I mean, this is a very deep conversation, very technical conversation that's it's going to get legal. It's going to get litigious, if you will. What's Brad got here?
We got 3. It looks like you have to play 3 seasons.
Got to play 3 seasons.
And that's about the average, unfortunately. I mean, we talk about superstars that play for a decade and maybe more, but that's not the normal, unfortunately. I mean, we've seen many, even superstar players, their seasons or their careers are over early. I remember Bo Jackson growing up.
Yep. That guy was unbelievable.
I mean,
unbelievable. Bo Jackson, best athlete I think I've ever seen. Prove me wrong. Guys, this is going to be a debate that's going to continue to unfortunately come up. You're going to hear more and more about it in the news because more and more people are going to continue to get hurt. But tell me what you think down in the comments about it.
The NFL just needs to listen to the player, like really listen to the players. If they are saying they prefer grass, then do it.
Yeah.
You've got the money to make it happen.
The thing is they need to not just come with problems. They need to come with solutions. And right now, I don't know how many solutions are really on the table. But guys, tell me what you think down in the comments about this whole turf versus grass situation. Is this something that the everyday fan really thinks about? Should you be thinking about it? Because honestly, is that the reason that the lifespan of an NFL player is so short? At 3 years. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. Tell me what you think about your local team, your team that you support. Tell me what you think about their playing surface. Has it made an impact, negative or positive, on your team as far as injuries go? Newberry, you got anything else before we get out of here?
NFL, the injuries happen. J.K. Dobbins got hurt on grass.
Yep.
Mike Williams gets hurt on the turf. I'm just, as a fan, I'm more concerned about the non-contact stuff that we see all the time. He's running a route and he stops at 8 yards and boom.
Yep.
That stuff is disgusting to me, man. I know that football's a contact sport. I love contact. But this crap where it's non-contact and they're going down, that's what bugs me.
Yep.
It really does.
You don't like it when your favorite players or your more meaningful players, I hate saying that, but it's true, whenever they go down for a reason that does not benefit the team. It's one thing if they're running a play and they're trying to break a tackle and they break their ankle. That's different. But if they're just running to the sideline, they tear their ACL or whatever, I mean, come on. I don't know, guys.
Listen to the players. Listen to the players.
Absolutely. We'll catch you guys next time.